probably call it Lajabless, but they have different names, Soucouyant, Lajabless. And where that came from, the truth is, it is just a belief in the in the islands that that there are spirits spirits that would appear around certain time of the year. How true that is, I don't know. But I know when I was very small, it wasn't that small, but I was about 14 perhaps at the time, and I witnessed something myself. Yes, yes, yes. So first of all, what is it? Where does it come from? It's just it's just a belief amongst the native that spiritual things happen in on the island every so often, and I would say maybe like if I can remember rightly, round about the All Saints time. You have All Saints time. You would have these so-called what we call Jumbies. They will appear. Where they come from, no one knows. But they're supposed to be very well dressed ladies, and they operate in the night times, right? Because they go to dances, and the men, and then get very excited by these lovely ladies with the Mexican hats, and the flowery dresses, and rumors. I never seen it myself. But if you look down, if you look all the way down, and when you go down to the feet, you'll have one good foot, and the other one would be a cow foot. and they, and they all say that. I say how true that is, I don't know, but that goes on. Um, I remember when it was a carnival time, and we went looking for some feed so we can put it in the pig pen for the whole day, because we're not going to be around for the whole day because we're all going to town for carnival. So we go into the limited agricultural farm, and we'll cut, and we say pinch grass. We're pinching grass. Then it belongs to the agricultural farm. So we go over the fence and we steal the grass, right? Very, very high protein grass. We would we'll cut a few bundles, and then we'll just put it in front of the animal for the whole day while we go to town and party at Carnival. Anyway, we went down very, very early in the morning. Very early, maybe about say 5 in the morning. It was still dark. Maybe even yeah, about say between 4 and 5. And it was dark. And we actually saw, while we were cutting this thing, we saw a light, like a ball, a flame, like a revolving flame, right? Lifted off from only about say half a mile away from where we were, but it lifted off from one part of Bialo. Bialo, by the way, is a place where they say this man used to deal like a dealer, right? And you know what dealing with? They say when they deal with the devil, right? Um, and in that part of the bay, Bayalo, where he lives, we saw this revolving ball, like a revolving flame, lifted off from one part of Bialo, and it's just as if someone threw a flame. Only it went about a good quarter of a mile away, but the revolving light revolve up in the air, and then it landed right by, whether it was true or false, right? But it's a story going around that he's a dealer um, who do evil, not evil things. There were some evil things, yes. They would um, predict, or if someone die, mysteriously in the village. They go to these people to see if they can find out, like faith healers. They go to these people to see if they can find out for them who is responsible for the loved one being killed or something like that. And they would whatever they do wherever they go, but they can tell. And most of the times it is true. They know exactly who is responsible for that person's death and stuff like that. So that that is a what is it? It's a custom we have in Carriacou. Um, um, it's a very popular one. It was very popular. I don't know how popular it is now, because you go there now and there's nothing like that. But people still say they see things. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So yes, that was something that was even right now talking about it. It kind of gives you it creeps a little. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, but those are some of the things. Um, Other things about Carriacou. Every year we have this, we have this it's like rituals, you can call it, where people cook. They cook, and the whole village will come around, and they'll feed the village, and then they will save some of the food. The saying is that they're cooking for the ancestors, people who died, family, a relative who died, some time ago. We are cooking, they're cooking for them. So they call this fete big time. Some call it big time, some call it Barmene. These are all African and French words, because Carriacou is French long, long time ago, before the British came in and turned it over. So there's a lot of French words are being used in Carriacou. Even a lot of the tongues in Carriacou, you hear like Bossejou, for example, Bogles. We have Jampier, Petit Carenage, Lanzaroche, you know. And they have all these French names around the islands and so on. Anyway, talking about this custom they have, this cooking custom they have, everybody in the village comes down and brings an item of food, and they will cook up. And if you're having the fete at your place, everybody knows, everybody, you know, congregate around your house, waiting for the food to finish. And the thing is about it as well, is that when you cook, nobody eats until they say you have to feed the dead first. Creepy, isn't it? So what they do is that they would save some food, right? They cook and they save the food until the next day. But they have all the food on a big table with an item of everything that was cooked is on the table there. And the next day, when people come back and the fete start in earnest, they would always, during the time, they would always have a bit of the food remaining, so that the children, I can't remember if the children was fed first, but the children would have, they call it a grappe. Grappe means eat as much as you can, as fast as you can, right? Make sure your hands clean, right? Because you're going down by hands. And then they will allow the children to go, and they'll open up the table, and they say, okay, go. And it's to see how much you can eat, how much you can retain for yourself, because some people take it and they go somewhere and sit down. Some people stand right and try to eat it while they're there. But that's only for the children. And I don't know what it is for. I can only guess is that they're saying the ancestors, even though the old fete is for the ancestors, but the children are very much a part of the culture, and the ancestors would like to see them eat as well. Yeah. I don't think they do that anymore. No, they don't do that anymore. Um, but that was something that, as a child, you used to like it. I used to like that.
So did you eat a lot of the food? Did you eat at the table or did you take your food off somewhere to eat?
They take the idea is you have about 10 children, right? And you have a table, what about say 4 foot by 2 foot.
Yeah.
And on that table they have little plates with an item or some food of everything that was cooked during the fete. And and they have meat as well. They have some lovely meat, pork, beef, some chicken legs, rice, roll cuckoo, potatoes, a lot of provisions. So when they let you go, they say, go. It is it is like you see, as like people have the dogs and they hold the dogs back because they're gonna let the dogs go. The dog will go and approach certain thing. And when they say go, all the children just dash towards the table and you try to eat as much as you can. There's nothing to drink. And the thing is this, you're eating and you're swallowing and you're trying because you're trying to swallow as much as you can. And I got myself caught. I remember once I got myself caught with a piece of a potato stuck in my throat. It wouldn't go down, right? and and when I think I can say I experienced death because I couldn't get some water quick enough, and the thing was stuck in my throat. And I rushed towards the kitchen where they were cooking, and I just grabbed a bowl of water. Don't know how long the water was there, but it was water from the cooking, of course, yeah. For the But there'll be water that they wash dishes and this and that, and all that. But the water doesn't necessarily have to come from the tap, or anyway, it's just a, a, a big drum of water, and I dipped in that, and that saved my life. I remember that very well. Right? I didn't even tell mommy anybody what happened. They just saw me disappeared from from I just disappeared. Go save my life and then come back. So that's what they call grappe in a big time or a bomene fete. Oh boy, Carriacou, God, they got so much history in that place.
How about Lacapier? You say I can edit it.
Okay,
Lacapier, tell me that story.
okay. Well, this is one that was told to me by my mother-in-law, right? And we used to call her Tete, and everybody knows Tete because Tete is such a special name, and she was a special person. She was a lovely lady, and very kind and soft spoken and all that, and everybody loved her. But she gave us some a story about her. Was it her husband or her grandfather? Or grandfather. They went down to a place called Six Roads where all the men go on the weekend or in the evening. Then they go and play cards, the domino. What people play now? People play a lot of dominoes now, but in Carriacou in those days, they play all fours. It's cards, card game. And when it gets late in the night, they'll go home. On this night, the little moonlight, and he's heading home. So he got to walk about, perhaps, what you'd say about a mile, 3/4 of a mile from that area, to his house. On the way home, there was a man in front of him playing this guitar. with a nice, lovely, lovely melody. So he tried to catch up with this man to see if he can, he can walk with this man because the areas that he got to pass are dark. These areas are dark areas, and so if he can get someone to walk to his village together with, it'll be a good thing. But he's trying to catch up with this man, and the man is not running; he is running, and the man's walking, and he still couldn't catch up with this man. Eventually, as the man went around a corner, the man stood up there, and then he caught up with this man. So he went up, kind of like breathing heavily, yeah. Oh, oh, Mister. He said, your music song so sweet, the guitar song so sweet, and I was trying to catch up with you for a long time. You know, why? How can you play this guitar so nice? How can you play so sweet? And he said to him, he said, yes, but you should hear me when I was alive. So can you imagine how frightened he was? Got home. When he got home, they got to throw a lot of stuff at him. Spirit, they always have a little spirit at home that they throw it over you, and to keep away evil spirit and stuff like that. But there's a few stories about that.
Oh, the bus. Yeah,
The bus.
yeah. Tell us about the bus at night.
Well, this is a story. Is it's not a story. It's a story, but it's not a story. It's true thing. Again, this happened in Carriacou. There were what we call um, Juve. It was Carnival time, and then there was Juve the day before Carnival Day. The Juve, there's a procession starting all the way down by the airport, and everybody goes down, and the band, the DJ strikes up the music, and everybody go down there and behind the truck, just as a procession in a carnival. So we were going down there that night. It started at 12 o'clock in the night. So going around a little corner, and I stopped the car just to say hello to. I spotted a good friend of ours coming up the opposite way. So he's coming the opposite way, and so I stopped the car just to say hello to him. Even though it was dark, but I can tell it was it. We call him Roland Bido. For those of you who are watching this and know Roland Bido. So we're in the car, and Roland came up and said, "Hey fellas, what you all doing? Where you all going now?" I said, "Well, we're going downtown. We're going down because it's um it's Juve." But then he said, "Yeah, boy," he said, "I gotta go down as well, but I'm going tomorrow because I was in town for the whole day, right? I'm tired, so I want to go and get a rest so I can get up and go downtown again first thing in the morning." So while he was saying that to us, there was a car stopped right in front of us. I would say maybe about 20, 30 feet in front of us. And the car had its lights on. The back lights were on, and you can tell that the car was alive. It wasn't a dead car. It was some people were in the car or something like that. But the car was right there in front of us, watching this car. Then when I say bye-bye to Roland continued to go. We decided to continue down a place called Six Roads, expecting this car would still be in front of me, and I'll go past him. But the car wasn't there. The car was not there. The car disappeared. Now, this is something that not I was not the only one, right? Because me, my wife, all the girls and them who live, a few of them who live in the village, we were all going down together in this SUV vehicle. And one of them said, no, I asked the question, I said, did you all see a car in front of us stopped here for a little while I was talking to Roland? And they say, yes. Where's it gone to? Where's the car? It just disappeared. So we're looking down the village to see if we can see any lights, car lights going through the village. There was no, because the bushy kind of area, and there were very few houses. So if there was a car with headlamps and stuff going down, you would have seen the glare of the car lights. Everybody's saying no, they can't see anything at all, nothing. So I said, okay. One of the girls say, well, that's one of the local, eh? She said, she said, she said, they're driving in style now, you know. You know, driving Cocomar, Cocomar, driving in style now, you know. So that means that they're taking cars now. They're not on the road anymore. And carried on a little bit further, and then there was a man standing on the side of the road, right in a cross called Six Roads Cross. And I pulled the car up by him to ask him if how long. I said, how long have you been here? He said, I've been here some time, a little while. He had one of these cutlasses in his hand because he was going to chop bush for his cattle for the next day because it's carnival day the next day. And everybody's in town. So I said, you haven't seen a car pass here at all while you were here? He said, no, he hasn't. Somebody in the car now shouted, why in the window are you talking to a Jumbie? Why in the window are you talking to a Jumbie? And people believe that, you know. I don't even know, to be honest with you, what it is, where it comes from, but it's something, and there's a season for it, where you have these Cocomar, these Lajablesses, they call them. People call them different names, right? Some people say, I see a spirit. Yeah. But that happens in amongst all the people in the Caribbean, all the islands, because they have their own names that they give those things. Eh? But we just call them jobless. Jobless, yes. That's Carriacou style. Well, yeah, that's what they say. They said that these people, these figures, these these spiritual looking figures. They said they they suck people in the nighttime. They call it again a name, Ligaroo. Ligaroo, that's another name for them, right? So the old people say that this thing, what they do is that they invade your house at nighttime while you're asleep, yeah, and they suck the blood out of you. So they're like vampires, yeah. Again, how true that is, I personally never seen anything, but the talk is in the village. Some people will see like a mark on the arm or the leg or, you know, some part of the body. Like, and you can see like a mouth, a big mark of a big mouth there. And then there's also going to be a scar that where the skin is punctured, so they can get the blood from there.
So who told you that? Was it like your parents told you this, or you just heard it?
Well, yeah. Our parents say it. Another thing that we used to do, mom used to do. My mom used to, when we go to bed at night, before we go, as we shut the door, she used to get some kind of a something that is associated with scaring off evil spirits, and she'll rest it on the door, on the step, on the doorstep, or just inside, so that just in case if this thing comes through the door, it's got to pass over it, and that might scare it or scare it off. But again, I've not experienced anything other than get up the next day and then you just clear the thing from there. Um, but where they get that thing from, I don't know. But people, even right now, people talk about it. Soucouyant.
So is it like an African thing? You think that's been
Well, it must be. Someone said they have this kind of stuff even in England here. This because some nurses have told me that, especially like in hospitals where people die, and and sometimes they can see like some scary images of either a woman in white dresses walking along the the,
hospital
the
corridor?
hospital, yeah, the hospital garden, the premises. They can see this thing outside walking about. So there you go. And it it is not it is not completely strange to the English people at all. There are some things that they know that you know
Mhm.
that is associated with evil spirits.
So getting back to Carriacou though, so that was more of a practice thing there, or
Yeah, it was a regular thing. You know, it was a regular thing. I mean, almost everybody would know, and they would talk about it. If you say, "Boy, a Jumbie or a witch or a Ligaroo sucked me last night," right? And then you can show them the mark. I never been sucked by no witch or no Ligaroo, but some people have, and they'll show you the mark on the leg or on the arm. They actually show you the mark of that Ligaroo's mouth. Hmm.
what story did Roy tell you? Oh,
Well, no, I can't. Well, I can call his name. He's my good pal. But he told me a story. Well, this is a friend of mine used to live here in England. He's gone home now, and he's living in the Caribbean. And again, every so often, those men that they'll get together and they'll play card. They're playing card, not dominoes, but they're playing all fours card. And he lives in a place called Six Roads. And this place where they're playing the card is Mount Royal. So those are the people who listen to this or watching this. You know what I'm talking about. Six Road and then Mount Royal. And then there's an area you have to walk from Six Road to Mount Royal. He said he could have taken his car and go, but that night it was a lovely, lovely moonlight. He decided to walk it up. So he went up there. The men and them, they're having the drinks, they're drinking, they're having a little thing to eat, drinks, making jokes, passing the time away, and so on. Until the time came when he had to go back home. And he had to walk down that hill. It got a little bit darker, even though there was moonlight, but it's later now. He had to walk back down that hill, right? Back down to Six Roads, alone. And he's walking down, he said, and there's a tree. He had to pass under a tree. And on top of that tree was a donkey. Who said donkey can't climb trees? But he said there was a donkey on top of the tree. And so he was so scared. Because he got to pass. Nowhere else he can pass. He got to pass under the tree. So before he go under the tree, he stopped and looked up at the donkey and say, "Hey, listen, I is so and so son, right? And me, I ain't doing no harm. I just passing. I come out and play some card up the road, and I'm just passing back, eh? And my father was so and so and so and so and so, right? So just leave me alone, eh? He said, and he said, I said, I don't want to call his name, but he'll know who he is, yeah. I said, man, it's not true, man. It's not. I said, come on, man. I said, you've been drinking, you've been drinking too much or what? He said, no. He said, I drank, yes, but I was, you know, sober enough to walk down and to identify what I saw. A donkey on a tree, right? Now, all these kind of little stories, you do get from the people in Carriacou about what happens. There are many more like that. Oh, you heard of a little boy called Total? Total?
No.
He died now. But Total is a little guy, lovable little man. He's a man, but he was short, right? And he was like the bourgeois, if you like, of the village. Bourgeois in terms that everybody knows him. If anybody want anything at all, he go and get it for them. Whether the fruit is in season or not, he'll find some. He'll find the fruit you ask. You ask him for, yeah. And again, he walks at any time of the night, any time, very very late at night. He walk in the road. And then he gave us a story about he's coming from Belmont, passing through Bellevue, passing through from Belmont to Bellevue. There's a very lonely piece of road, right? That if you pass there at night time, especially if there is no light on the road, it's very scary. And he said this time he said he's walking, and he met this thing on the road, whether it was a human being or creature, but it was something that he can speak to. So it must be in some kind of human form. And he said he knows the thing is coming towards him and he's going up. So they got to meet. But he's scared. So when he got close to it, he just said to it, he said, look, if it's me to send you, if it's me to send you for, tell them you want to see me, yeah? Oh man, talking about Jumbies and Lajabless. I know my dad had an experience
Oh yeah.
as well. Yeah, my dad. It always happened at night. And there's a season. There's a season, a time of the year when they're very very plentiful. The war. And my dad came from from a place where they were playing again. They had a little card game, and he got a lift when he was coming back at night in the night. He got a lift with this car, but when the car got so far, the car instead of the car going all the way up the road and turning around to come back where we live, he told them, he said, "Drop me off here. I'll just walk across the gully, and then the house is up the hill." So he got off the car and decided to walk up. As he went down the embankment, you got to come back up on the other side, and there's a big mango tree on the left-hand side there. Moonlight, eh? Moonlight. He said he tried to climb the embankment that he climbs all the time. Nothing steep, just a little up and down. But he kept slipping. Every time he tried to get up and walk, he slipped and fall. He tried again, he slipped and fell. So he's getting up, falling down, getting up. Then he decided to pull a cigarette from his pocket. Right? He pulled a cigarette out of his pocket. He got a match, and he went like that. But I understand, Lajabless says They don't like lights. Any flame or anything like that, you know, just gets them mad, and they just fly away like a bird, you know. Again, that's how the story goes. They fly like a bird. So before he scratched the match, he saw this woman figure by the trunk of the mango tree. And like she's walking around the mango tree so that he wouldn't have a full view of her. So then he decided to get this match, and because it was Lajabless season, and he knew how to get rid of them. So as he struck that match, this thing just flew away like a bird, you know, like a big bird. But yet when he looked at her, she had this lovely big Mexican hat and lovely clothes, very lovely garments. Right? He couldn't see he couldn't see her feet because they were like a little bit bushy and so on. When that thing flew away, he then decided to up the hill and came home. But I remember when he came home, he's telling my mother, he said, Onelia, come. Get me the bottle of spirits. Get me the bottle of spirits. Right? Um, so mommy asked him, what's the matter? He's saying, Lajabless. All I hear him say, Lajabless. Mommy got in the spirit and they knocked him down. And then he started catching back himself. Till the next day, he lived to tell us a story again. What happened? So Carriacou people, a lot of people know and saw things, you know. So any one of them hearing this, that they can identify with it because it's something that happens, they say, right? Even me, myself, I haven't seen anything personally, except for that big ball of fire, right? That took off from one place, like in a ball of fire rolling like this from one area to another area. That's the only thing I saw. But I must tell you what happened. Just after that happened, because me, my brother, my sister, it was three of us who were trying to get this feed for the animal. And while we were there, now the place is overgrown and the grass grew really, really high and very, very thick. But just grass, eh? The grass there is called Pangola grass. It's very rich in protein for the animal. The animal grow very big and fat when they feed them with that. A special grass. So you know I've told you about this ball of fire that we saw lifted off one part of the area and landed like in a ball of fire, just rolling away, and landed about, it could easily be a quarter of a mile away. So we're children, right? It was about 5 a.m, but we're children, right? We were the biggest one of the family, and we had to go and get this grass and thing for the animal because we go into town for the whole day. So we there. Once that happened, after we saw that big ball of fire lifted and landed, we continue cutting this grass. Coming down through the field, grassy area, tall grass, you know, we are hearing a noise like when someone walking through heavy bushes. We hear some footsteps or animal steps coming down towards us, right? You're hearing the sound of like whoosh, 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 and getting louder and louder towards us. So they got close. We didn't want to. We didn't want to look or watch to see what it can be, but we just huddled together, cuddled together, and say, "Well, if we're going to die, let's all die together." And we're there waiting, and the sound got so loud, and we knew the thing was standing right by us because it came and stopped right by us. Then a little while after, we hear the person say, "Hey, yo man," that's the way they called Steve. "Yo man, Ivan," and watching say, "Hey, Irwin, what? Are you cutting grass?" And this was two ladies in the village, right? And these two ladies, they used to call them Boone and Chokes. They didn't afraid anything. They wasn't afraid of anything at all, right? But they came and they got our spirit back, when we realized it was them. But they were doing the same thing as well. Just so you know, because they saw it as well. They saw the fire. So Carriacou people would easily identify with that because it's a common, it was a common custom in Carriacou. Anytime you hear somebody say, "Oh, afraid, afraid," come on, go with me now. Where you going? I'm going so and so. In this dark night, come on, go with me now. Right? They're afraid of something. What is it? Be interesting to find out more about people who may have ran into this kind of a phenomenon, and ask them more about it. But our cousin, I got a cousin that this happened to not long ago, just in recent years, maybe within the last 10 years. She went home. She lives here. Went home, the place called Fiail, and she was confronted.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Was she not drinking Jack Iron?
Well, I doubt if she was drinking. It was two of them, she and her sister. And yeah, they were confronted by this thing, whatever it was. Yes.
What happened?
Well, I can't remember exactly what, but they spoke to it. They spoke to it, and the thing responded. I can't remember exactly what, but they had a little conversation, and either the lady wasn't too pleased, but nobody knew who she was, and how she just appeared. They don't know where she came from. Yeah, yeah. But I tell you, time changed. Time changed. Another thing happened not long ago, maybe about, would you say this is what, 8, 9 years ago, 10 years ago? We were in Carriacou, and when you're over there, you eat so much, they want you to keep on eating this, that, and then the morning we felt so full. We said, let's go and walk this thing out. Walk out get some of this energy out. So we decided to do a little walk. So we left Bellevue, went down 6th Road. From 6th Road, we went across that place to call it, we're heading Mongelou towards Leicester, right? And then if you turn left, you'll see a big hill. I think it's part of Chapoucarry. Yeah? Part of Chapoucarry. And we know that if we go up that hill and get on the other side, we are back home into Bellevue South. So we decide to go through this woods and go through. It is an old track. You can tell it was an old track. The tracks is still like there, but it's kind of overgrown a little. So we walking through that, and it was about 6 of us walking through there. And then we met in the middle of the woods there. You can call it jungle. We met this little white boy, totally naked. And the place is like a disused cemetery. So he's standing there and he's watching us. So you know me, how miserable I am. I went to try and talk to him. So I keep saying, I said, hey, 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 hey. I said, come. He ain't coming. He's standing up there. I said, come on over. Still standing. So we went over where he was, standing by what is old tombstone. a headstone for someone who died maybe 200 years ago. I said, can you hear me? Can you understand what I'm saying? I said, what's your name? He's not talking. Who are your parents? He's not talking. I said, can you understand me? Can you understand what I'm saying? He never said yes or no. Still just unresponsive. So one of the people who was with, 6 of us, said, shout out, you're talking to a Jumbie? See, you're talking to a Jumbie, and for a little while, I thought it could have been, this little white boy, no clothes on him, right, in the middle of this bush.
At night?
No, it's in the daytime.
In Carriacou?
In Carriacou. And there are no houses. No, you couldn't see a house, right? Mind you, the place was covered up a lot with bushes. But we left him there. He didn't come with us. When they said it's Jumbie, I thought maybe it's Jumbie in truth. So we decided to walk away. And we're walking now going towards Bellevue, where we would have emerged out of the bush. And there's a lady standing in a little house that she was standing on the porch of the house when we came out of the woods. So we say hello to the lady. She said, hello, how are you? Oh, fine, everything is fine. And then I started to say to her, madam, we met a little boy down in the cemetery there, a white boy, totally naked. I said, do you know anything about that little boy? He's coming this area. And she said, oh, that is Mr. So-and-so's son. He's coming to say good morning to me. He comes every morning to say good morning to me. His father's house is, you can't say the house because it's you got to come out of the wooded area and look up the hill, and you would have seen a house there. He said, that's his father's house. But he comes every morning, every day to say good morning to me. That's just a good job. It was nighttime, Even in the daytime, it was scary.
So was it a real boy or was it a Jumbie?
No, well, he was a real boy because she said he was just because it's so warm there. And a young boy, he doesn't have to wear clothes, right? And he was about maybe about five years of age, a young boy. But if he's so safe in that place. So I said, can you imagine where in this world could you have gone and meet a little boy like that, whether he's white, black, or whatever, alone in that woods, right? Alone. And he's walking from wherever he lives to come and say good morning to this old lady. That was a funny one. There's one more. Can I tell you one more? This fellow came from Grenada. His name was the Mighty Covadis. Remember that? and he was a Calypsonian, and he had a gig to play in Dover Model School. And he went up there, he did the gig, sang and all that. Then when he finished, got into a taxi from Dover Model School. They're going downtown now. That's where his hotel was. And they're going back down to town. He's sitting on the passenger seat of the car. The driver is sitting there. They met this lady in the road who was coming a lift. So they give her a lift. Jump in the back of the car. She did. Again, there's another lady that's dressed up nicely, right? And they just thought they were giving this lady giving her a lift to town because they're going to go in town. And they're chatting and chatting and chatting in the car until either he or the driver pulled out a match and struck a match. And the fire, remember I told you about these things don't like to see fire and flames? And as they struck the match, this woman who was there, again, always in this kind of a Mexicanish kind of a garment, and she just flew out of the car, busted the door open, and flew out of the car. She didn't walk, All I said is she flew out of the car as if it was a bird that got released from capture. Yes, I remember that very well.